Lexus isn't the company that follows trends. It's usually the one dictating where the luxury crowd goes next. Every time rivals like Lincoln or Infiniti start closing the gap, Lexus answers by pushing harder on tech, refining its lineup, and dropping new models that remind everyone why the badge still carries so much weight. For 2027, the lineup is stacked. There's no way to cover everything in one video, so we're counting down the 7 most important new Lexus models coming out in 2027. Let's begin. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Number 7. 2027 LFA and LFR. The moment the new LFA concept broke cover earlier this year, it stopped people mid-scroll. Low, wide, aggressive. That's the kind of shape that reminds you Lexus engineers still know how to build something wild. At the same time, the upcoming LFR has been quietly doing laps in Germany for months, which usually means one thing: this thing is serious. Both cars are pure mechanical art. Exotic materials, race-bred engineering, designs that look like they belong in a concept showroom even when they're production ready. These are not built to chase sales numbers. They exist to show what Lexus can do when limits basically don't exist. However, that also means they're nowhere near the reach of regular buyers. The sports car market itself is already a tiny niche compared to SUVs and crossovers. The new LFA is expected to start somewhere around $200,000, while the highest spec versions of the LFR could push close to the $500,000 mark. So yeah, breathtaking machines, just not the kind most people will ever park in their garage. But they will draw attention, enough to kick off this countdown. Number 6. 2027 UX. Subcompact crossovers aren't exactly the stars of the sales charts either, but they keep hanging around because of the steady demand from first-time luxury buyers and city drivers who don't want to wrestle with tight parking spots. A new generation of UX is on the way for 2027, and the formula isn't changing. The next gen will grow a bit, but not enough to step on the toes of larger Lexus crossovers. Think a little more rear seat breathing room, a cargo area that's actually usable, and a cabin that feels fully caught up with modern tech. Expect sharper screens and better software. Lexus has always paid attention to materials. Outside, the new 2027 UX is set to borrow styling cues from the brand's latest lineup, with more aggressive lighting signatures and tighter body lines. The UX remains the most affordable way into the Lexus world. And that alone is a big reason why it lands on this list, while even as some bigger, more expensive siblings sit this one out. Number 5. 2027 GX Hybrid. For years, the SUV built its reputation the old-school way: body-on-frame toughness, serious off-road hardware, and unstoppable, go-anywhere personality. It was the kind of luxury rig you'd trust deep in the wilderness, even if it felt a bit overbuilt for everyday errands. That's about to change for 2027, because Lexus is finally giving the GX a hybrid powertrain. Such a configuration isn't just about fuel savings, it's about making the 2027 GX more versatile. You still get the low-end torque that off-road drivers love. Actually, electric assistance should make throttle response smoother and more precise. But now the SUV also becomes far easier to live with in daily driving, whether that's long highway commutes or stop-and-go city traffic. In other words, the GX is evolving from a hardcore trail specialist into something broader. Number 4. All-new 2027 ES. The sedan has always been the quiet hero of the Lexus lineup, and for 2027, the ES is going through one of its biggest changes ever. The all-new generation arrives with a fresh design. You'll notice a sharper and lower stance, sleeker fastback style profile, and a cleaner front end that moves away from the old oversized grille look. It's longer too. A stretched wheelbase directly translates into more rear seat space. Inside, Lexus is doubling down on its quiet luxury vibe. The cabin gets a more minimalist layout, bigger digital displays, new materials, and improved sound insulation. Ride comfort is also getting a serious upgrade thanks to a stiffer platform and a new rear suspension setup. Powertrain-wise, hybrids will still be the main story, sticking with the proven 2.5-liter system, but with more power and better efficiency than before. And yes, There will also be a fully electric ES for the first time. It's part of Lexus's broader push toward electrification, offering both front and all-wheel drive EV versions with solid range estimates. That balance and versatility is exactly why the ES stays relevant, and why it survives, while the LS is dropped for the next season. Number 3. 2027 LX V8. A few years ago, when Toyota killed the V8 for its big rigs, including the LX, it made perfect sense at the time. The old naturally aspirated unit simply couldn't keep up with tightening global emissions rules. That's why the current generation switched to a twin-turbo V6. In fact, that engine delivers even more power while improving efficiency compared to the outgoing V8. A few years down the road, after many recalls, and Lexus is expected to bring the V8 back. Still, it won't be a replacement for the turbo V6. That one stays as the mainstream choice. There's also a timing factor behind this move. Some markets have started easing aggressive emissions targets, especially for large body-on-frame SUVs that sell in relatively small volumes. That creates a window where manufacturers can justify keeping big units alive a little longer. And Lexus knows the LX buyer base isn't exactly begging for downsizing. So the V8's return isn't about chasing trends. It's about keeping one foot planted in tradition while the rest of the lineup moves toward hybrids and electrification. Number 2. 2027 Lexus pickup truck. This is the one people have been whispering about for years, and now it's finally starting to look real. A Lexus pickup truck sounds unusual at first, but when you think about it, the pieces have already been sitting on the table. The platform is there, thanks to the Toyota Tundra's body-on-frame architecture. The luxury know-how is already proven in the LX. Put those two worlds together, and you get a pretty clear picture of what this truck is aiming to be: serious capability wrapped in flagship-level comfort. But why hasn't this happened sooner? Because luxury brands traditionally stayed away from full-size trucks. The segment has always been dominated by mainstream manufacturers, and instead of creating separate premium models, companies simply loaded their existing rigs with upscale trims. That's why buyers ended up with things like ultra-plush versions of the Tundra Capstone, Silverado High Country, or F-150 King Ranch, rather than something wearing a true luxury badge. But the market has been changing. High-end truck buyers are already spending luxury car money, and many of them want something that feels genuinely premium, not just a regular truck with extra chrome and bigger screens. That's the gap Lexus is trying to fill. Number 1. 2027 NX. Compact crossovers run the market right now. That alone makes the NX one of the most important vehicles in the entire Lexus lineup. But landing the top spot here means more than just selling well. The 2027 NX is due for a full redesign, and Lexus isn't expected to cut corners. This update is all about pushing the premium feel further. Think softer touch surfaces everywhere you actually interact with, improved seat comfort for long drives, and infotainment that feels quick and intuitive instead of just good enough. Efficiency will remain one of the biggest strengths of the 2027 NX. The hybrid setup is already the best in the class, delivering strong fuel economy without sacrificing smooth power delivery. That balance is a huge reason why so many buyers keep coming back to the NX instead of jumping to rivals. And when you factor in the price, the picture gets even clearer. It's not cheap, but for reliability, resale value, comfort, and hybrid efficiency the crossover is going to offer, it feels worth every penny. That's why the redesigned 2027 NX takes the crown. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.